Today's video is about shadowing and controlling user sessions and doing so with non-administrative user accounts. So let's review the capabilities of being able to shadow or remote control users in a WVD environment. So when a user is logged in to a session host, they have a session that looks something like this. If you click on user sessions, you will see that the user is connected to a particular host pool on a particular host. Current session status is active, and you will see the option to shadow this user session. If you click on this shadow session button, you will then be able to choose whether you want to control the user sessions or just view it, if you want to request or not request the user consent. And this is all controlled by group policy that you can specify in your domain. There's some default settings where a user must provide consent for either shadow or control. But in either case, the requirement to run a user shadowing session is to take this URL by copying it, by clicking this button, and then running it from a Windows machine on a network that has access to the session host VM. Now, one caveat to managing user sessions remotely is that the user that you as the administrator are logged in with into your computer, the computer from which you are doing the shadowing of this user, in our case, NMW tester, that user, your user that you're shadowing with, must be a local administrator on the session host VM where the user session is that you're trying to shadow. So again, if you were to run this command on your machine and try to connect to this host and shadow this user session, if you are not a local admin on this machine by default, you will get an access denied message and the user will never get the prompt to allow you. And then you will obviously never get to shadow that session. And in order to work around it, there's some scripting work that needs to happen on each and every VM in your environment in order to allow non-admins to do this shadowing as well. With all of that as the background, we've created an automation in the Nerdio Manager for WVD version 2.5 and newer that lets you configure who can shadow sessions even if they're not administrators. So let's take a look at how that works. So we have a host pool here, and we're going to go to the dropdown and go to properties and select VM deployment. And under VM deployment, there is a new option called allow non-admin users to shadow sessions, which is turned off by default, which means that in order to shadow, you must be a local admin. However, what you can do is you can turn this on, and then you can select users who are non-domain admins or even groups of users that are non-domain admins. And when these VMs will be created, will be provisioned or re-imaged, they will allow these users that are listed in this box to be able to manage user sessions and shadow those user sessions. So again, all you need to do is turn this option on and then click OK, select your users and or groups and click OK. And then any newly created VMs or any VMs that are re-imaged inside of this host pool are going to allow non-admin users to shadow sessions that are present on those session host VMs. Hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.